after season 11 premiered, the amount of hate that I was getting surpassed anything that I've experienced in my entire career, and I was almost suicidal over it. When my mom died and people started saying, your mother hated you, your mother would be disappointed in you, Whitney, I don't like that you're doing this, what would your mother think? I mean, it's insane. I'm a childless woman in the midst of a midlife crisis, and I'm determined to find joy in my 4th decade.
I have seen the season 12 premiere. You really don't hold back. I mean, in one single premiere, I put together this little list. You're still reeling from your mom's death.
Mm-hmm.
Home gets vandalized as a result of some horrible hate mail being dropped off. Your ex reveals he had a baby, and you're kind enough to throw them a party.
Yeah.
And you reveal that you and the Frenchman broke up, but you still love him.
Yeah.
That's a lot, Whitney. That's a lot for one episode.
Yeah.
Do you think that you are ready to move on from the Frenchman?
I still talk to the Frenchman very regularly. Am I pathetic? Probably.
I want to dive right into all things Whitney love life. You talk about how difficult it is not being with the Frenchman. You were madly in love with this person. You really did your darndest to try to make things work.
Yeah, I think we've tried everything, and so I think the definitive thing is that I can't come.
How much of that split are we going to see play out on camera?
Well, I don't want you to make me cry. So, spoiler, I'm still in love with him. No, we actually broke up in real time in April a year ago.
Okay.
And I know that, there was talk of that in the season, but we still were very much in contact. I had still seen him, and I still love him. I mean, I don't know. He's going to get pissed if he reads this article, because he doesn't like me to talk about him. But
talk about him without getting emotional. That's real.
He's the best man I've ever known. And unfortunately, this is one of these things that comes with reality TV, which is, I'd say, one of the negatives, is he does not want a public life at all.
You've asked him, would you want to be a part of my show? Would you be down to film? And he has said no.
Well, he was on seasons ago, but he had his face blurred. He saw how crazy people on the internet were. Nope, that was it. He was done.
Okay, so that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still keep in touch, or have you ripped the Band-Aid off for a clean break?
I'm trying to move on. I'll just say that. I'm trying. Yeah.
But
no,
still,
look, if somebody amazing showed up on my doorstep, I would be all for it. I joke about being desperate, but the truth is, if I were truly desperate, I could have somebody. But I'm not.
We don't want you to settle.
I know what I want. I know what I deserve.
Yes.
And I don't even think that my standards are too high or anything. I think they're just kind of like the bare minimum. I'm still dealing with that. But I'm also certainly open to dating.
Still single as of today?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
We're so invested in your love life. How is dating going?
I haven't, been approached by a single man in any way. And the dating sites are pretty abysmal. There's just not a lot to pick through. It's really hard to get excited about dating, but I do not want to be alone forever.
So, I mean, anybody sort of strike your fancy, or has the Frenchman set the bar and no one's even come close?
Oh, no. I mean, no one's come close. There was a very small thing with a man who is associated with my family in Alabama. And God bless him. But, I had to try really hard to convince myself to go with that. And then that ended up incredibly poorly. So that's my mom. And actually, my mom was alive. We used to joke, and she would say, I would tell her all these stories, and she would say, girl, I don't know how you do it, but you can't even get a man that you don't want.
Listen, I know it sounds so annoying and cliche, but I truly believe the stars will be in alignment. You will finally find the right person. You won't be too much or too little. You'll be just right. And I know you said on the episode, you have frozen your eggs. And there are so many women who have done that on their own, whether it's Sandra Bullock or Charlize Theron or Janet Jackson. Is that something you've ever considered?
No. Nope.
Completely off the table for you? You want to do it with a partner?
Yep. Unfortunately, I've thought a lot about it, and I could imagine my life without children if I had a partner, but I cannot imagine the rest of my life without a partner.
Okay, so have you come to personal peace with maybe not becoming a mom someday?
No, I'm still dealing with that. In fact, the other day I was talking to somebody and I said, oh yeah, like when my grandchildren, and then I had stopped myself and I was like, oh, Like, I'm not going to have any. I've even had people on the internet, say, well, you're so selfish. Why haven't you had children? And I'm going, it's not by choice.
It's not for a lack of trying. Exactly. Yeah.
I've been trying now. I know how to actually have them, and I've done plenty of that in life. And always wondered, like, maybe I'll just have a happy accident, but haven't yet. So
a disturbing moment in the My Big Fat Fabulous Life season 12 premiere that got your whole crew involved, cameras down, everybody wanted to make sure that you were safe. You're peacefully having dinner and you hear this loud thud, eggs thrown at your home, a absolutely abominable letter lands on your doorstep.
Mm-hmm.
Did you contact the police? How are you doing in the wake of all of that?
Well, actually haven't thought about it in months. It's the first time you've seen something that crazy on television. It's not the first time that these things have happened to me. So to have this actually happen with the cameras was even scarier, because I was like, the balls of somebody to do this while we were filming. I've had bricks through my car windows. People have broken into my parents' house, walked in the house, talked to them like they knew them. People come to my doorstep all the time. I've had legitimate stalkers. I've been on a hit list that was on the dark web. I had to get the FBI involved. I mean, it is absolutely insane. So when people kind of say, especially stuff on the internet, like, oh, it's just haters, trolls, who cares? I care. It's terrifying. It's dangerous. And people will escalate to the point of doing stuff in your real life. And these are real people. For sure. So after season 11 premiered, the amount of hate that I was getting surpassed anything that I've experienced in my entire career. And I was almost suicidal over it.
You can't prepare, for, I don't think anyway, for someone dying, but it obviously it hurts so much, and I love her so much.
So much of it was about my mother, and I believe in that card that they left on the front step. I think it said something like, your mother is rolling over in her grave. And you wouldn't believe, like, nothing shocks me, right? I've read the most horrible things about myself on a daily basis. But when my mom died and people started saying stuff like that to me, your mother hated you, your mother would be disappointed in you. Whitney, I don't like that you're doing this. What would your mother think? That actually shocked me. I actually couldn't believe. And so that's been incredible. That's been a whole, I didn't have a dead mother before. So now that I have that and people use that to make me feel bad about myself, I mean, it's insane. Now, I have a really great support system, and my dad is, bless him, he's always like, well, that's not true. I love you. And I'm like, no, I know, Daddy. I've never questioned whether these things are true, but it makes me so disheartened that this is just like normal in the world for people to do this.
Have you ever blamed the cameras for these unwanted, targeted attacks against you? You're living a really public life. You've got this successful TV show.
Another confirmation from the universe or something that I'm like, am I cursed?
Have you ever thought about giving that up?
I mean, every season I think about giving it up. But what I know is that, the damage in that way is done. I'll be a public person forever. The internet lives forever. That stuff's not going away. I am in a position where I allow cameras into my life. I don't have control over how I'm edited or presented or anything like that. People always go, what do you do for work? And I'm like, okay, I make TV for work. That's what I do for my job. And the crew that I've had, some of them I've had for about 10 seasons. They literally are like family. I have the most fun filming this TV show and doing my job. I won't say it's a small price to pay. It is a price to pay.
I want to pay you a huge compliment. You look incredible. You joked when we spoke last year, you were like, my weight loss, thanks, it's because of grief.
I have lost some weight, and that's true. And people say, like, is it surgery? And I'm like, no, it's grief, but thanks.
Where are you at in your health journey right now?
Thank you for the compliment. People say that constantly, like, oh, you've lost more weight. I actually haven't. I haven't lost weight in almost a year and a half. So I'm the same size. I had lost 50 pounds in 2018 or 19, and most people didn't really notice. And then I lost 50 after my mom died. So I've lost 100 pounds since, you would have seen me season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But no, I haven't lost any weight in about a year and a half. But I feel great. I'm happy.
Yes.
And we're going into the 40s. It's not easy, but I feel optimistic way more than I did a few months ago. So that's a plus.